Okay, we're recording. So in this video, we have a general premise and some notes, but primarily we're going to let this other video guide the conversation so that there's so much related to this this premise that it's like it could be like a 6-hour mega doc, or we could just go free form for a little bit and just try to give all the main primary points to this crazy concept. And that is that somehow the Trump family is time traveling, right?
Yeah.
Is that the high level
Yeah.
gist of it?
That's the gist of it.
Yeah. And there's so many diverse points of strangeness that when all considered together can only be explained or understood with that premise to be true.
Mm-hmm.
If that is not true, so much of this just is like completely impossible. So, okay, we'll start with I've got this video on my computer. Now, I don't know who made this. This is something I found on Telegram, just on one of the many like conspiracy like Telegram channels that like everyone was on, especially back in more like around 2019 or so when like everyone was flooding over to Telegram. So I'll just play it. Here we go.
Through the looking glass, further beyond. Let's start where we left off. The jacket from the cover, identical to that of Ivanka on top of the Eiffel Tower looking through the glass. Also, the hair. Same hair. Let's go to the glove. Look at the glove. Same gloves. One last thing. Look at those boots. Looks familiar, doesn't it? Now let's jump back to the Paris picture where she's standing in front of the clock. Let's mirror that. Look at the time. She's pointing to the spot right between the 3 and the 2.
I mean, some of this stuff is a little reaching, but
yeah.
But the general gist of this, the points made in this video, again, when all taken into consideration, are just absolutely mind exploding.
2. Now, the most powerful image in the collection from Paris was the one where she's standing on top of the Eiffel Tower, staring into the light and arms out. Where have we seen this before?
Now, the whole Geronimo thing, I think he might be reaching a little bit on this. But it's just interesting that, just the pictures of her in that book, which was having nothing to do with the Trumps and Ivanka. It was just some children's book.
Well, yeah. So pretty much they're saying, just like in the Tomorrowland movie, that the time travel machine or launch pad, essentially, is underneath the Eiffel Tower. So that's what they're getting at, that the Trumps are on top of the world there, and they're using the Eiffel Tower as their time travel machine.
I don't know if it's underneath it, but or it might be like
ship that comes
somewhere inside. There's like an office or something. In the movie, was it Tomorrow?
Yeah.
It was called Tomorrowland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's one piece of the puzzle. So just in general, in this video, you're gonna get a whole bunch of pieces of a grand puzzle thrown at you. Yeah. So take notes. Go look into these things. Do your best to do your own research because nearly every nugget here is like a shadow banned topic, according to Google. The world system doesn't want you to know all this stuff. It doesn't want you to put this puzzle together.
Mm-hmm.
Because the realization of this premise means the destruction of the old system.
Yes.
The system that is leeching at the most highest level, really just leeching off of us.
Mm-hmm.
So that system is in free fall right now, and during the last 5, 6, 7, whatever years, it's done as good of a job as it can to make sure as much people as possible don't put this puzzle together.
Yeah, wake up to the truth of that system falling and
Yep.
and how Trump kind of was the main guy to do it.
Well, yeah, and we're not like worshiping
No.
Trump. It just seems like he was like a main piece on the chessboard that made like a big move. Like some, I don't know, some hand of God type thing. And I'm not saying that he was like even knowing any of this.
Mhm.
I really think the guy himself is really just truly a good businessman, and he's just thinking about people being able to be free. Just
Yeah.
a real level, real high level, just plain simple generic
Yeah.
desires. But as we're going to get into right now, I think he's got some help.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see where this video goes. Maybe I'll let
I don't know,
let it play.
Donald Trump's Twitter banner, Ivanka's photo of her child in a Star Wars costume, General Flynn's Twitter banner.
Oh, and me and Val, we're not worshipers of the Flynn guy either. I just saw a video of him where he's like all buddy, like handshaking and hugging, and like speaking at the same event as, or no, he's like speaking at the church of, who's that demon? Copeland? Kenneth Copeland. Just, I don't know if it was like recently, like this month or a year or two ago, but Flynn was there on his stage. Copeland is a demon. I mean, I'm speaking in literal terms. He is he's got multiple demons inside of him. And I was reading down in the just to deviate, but because it's too interesting. Turns out that Copeland was allowed to buy this ranch in I think Texas, like hundreds of acres. It's got airports and roads and rivers and everything. I mean, typically something, an international billionaire would have as like their private ranch. Copeland, like the leader of a church, has this, and he bought it for like $10.
What?
He bought it for $10 from something like the actual state of Texas or something like that, some shady deal. And people speculate that he's been allowed to like use the airport and stuff on his ranch to airplane, like to airdrop Bibles into Mexico. No, he's not airdropping Bibles. He's not spending altogether that. How much fuel is that?
That sounds ridiculous.
All together, that each flight on a giant plane like that, it's probably like $100,000 worth of overall resources, pilot time, fuel, maintenance, etc. It's probably over $100,000.
Yeah.
You're not dropping off Bibles. He's running guns. He's running guns for the military. Allegedly. Speculating.
Yeah.
That's what's going on with Copeland.
Interesting.
Okay, let's go.
Arms out. What does it mean? What do you do before jumping out of the aircraft? You put your arms out and you yell, Geronimo! Geronimo? We've seen this before in the Q post. For God and country, for humanity.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's stop it there because we have a couple things to say about the Disney distraction. But I don't know when you want to actually get into it as far as the Ingersoll and the books that we found.
Let's go there. I wanted to use this video really to just allow us to like be sparked to go and talk about
like
these.
Hone in all of our thoughts, really.
Yeah.
Okay, so Eric found a book by Ingersoll Lockwood called Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey, written in 1893.
Right.
It has a lot of interesting things in the book, but we'll get to those in a little bit. When you look up Ingersoll Lockwood nowadays, it's a watch company. Eric will bring it up.
Dude.
So this is their main screen. Like,
it's not just a watch company. I mean, it's one of the many things they do.
Yeah. Yes, they're also a part of Space Force. which is very interesting.
It's hard to even tell what it was. Okay, so first we'll go right to what you're talking about. You're talking about these books written at the beginning of the end of 1800s. This one is it's called The Last President.
That's another one
by Ingersoll Lockwood. And here you can see this is a Library of Congress. September 1896 is when they received it.
Okay.
So these books are actual legit old books. And if you actually go and read this, you're going to find freakish coincidences in what's happening in the book versus what happened between like 2015, 2017, like the incoming Trump thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's another book by Ingersoll Lockwood as well.
Yeah, that I just said.
That Valerie started reading the other day. And that one's all about basically Barron, Trump's son.
Yes. And that you could look at as his version of time travel, but based on finding a book by some Don Fum, the Marvelous, I think it was. He was following these instructions to basically find like a wormhole or some hole in the ground to get him to the underworld.
Yeah. So it's all this symbolic story that can be taken multiple ways.
Yeah.
One way being that he discovered a technology that allowed him to time travel.
So going back to what that Q drop said, that Disney will be used as a distraction.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting that Ingersoll Lockwood Company makes Mickey Mouse watches.
There you go.
So it's Disney, it's a clock, time travel.
Yeah.
Distracting.
Yeah. And so this video is really going to be only about random thoughts that are connected, but we can't tell you the whole story because it would take like 12 hours. So you have to go connect all these things yourself.
Yeah, it's kind of just what we connected.
So this is literally IngersollLockwood.com, their official website today. And yeah, as you can see here, they are involved somehow with Space Force.
Yeah.
Okay. Now just consider that. Ingersoll, not ancient, but super old book, obviously talking about the Trump family, the last president, and all throughout the book, it's obviously talking about the arrival of Trump as the president. The other book is obviously talking about Barron, his son, and some fictionalized story, which I think is a cover for them giving a truth drop about their technology that they stumbled upon. Oh, and on a side note to all this, it was Donald Trump's uncle, John, who was the guy that was working with the government. And when Tesla died, I'm just paraphrasing.
Was sent in to get the blueprints.
Yeah.
For a lot of the technologies.
He was head of alien affairs or alien effects or something like that for the government, which just meant that anything that was owned by foreigners and abandoned, somehow they had they owned it or whatever. I don't know. I'm paraphrasing the whole concept here, but yeah, his and his uncle went and got basically the information of how to make a time machine. That was what I believe.
Yeah,
is what I've concluded. And now this gets into Back to the Future. Back to the Future 2, in which Biff, a older relative of young Biff, stumbles across a technology that he then gives to a younger version of himself, to a relative in the future, to use to advance his own life, to make money.
Well, he went in the past to his 21-year-old self and gave the almanac. Well, basically.
Yeah, that's right. He went back
to make him rich, or
that's right,
rule the world, whatever,
to alter him.
Yeah.
Himself. Yeah. And what I'm saying is that is a truth drop. How John Trump
stumbled upon essentially a time machine, maybe blueprints, maybe the actual thing.
Yeah.
And went back in time. And you can see that in what we're just looking at, the looking glass showing the Trump family.
Yeah. And so I think to this day, they persistently have access to some time machine.
Mm-hmm.
There's just too much.
Well, especially, I don't know if you're going to continue to play that video, but
Yeah.
they go into Plus Ultra. Do you want to
Yes.
play it in that part?
Well, let's.
Because that's a big-
There's so much here. Okay, let's go a little bit more deep on Ingersoll
Okay.
Lockwood because we're here.
Yeah.
And so, first of all, just the fact that there's a connection with Ingersoll Lockwood, the old books,
Mm-hmm.
obviously talking about the Trump family, and yet here we are, Space Force.
Yes.
Like even your most uninformed person right now knows that that's a Trumpy thing. Like he helped to bring it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can also see, if you look up the watch company, they're the first company to use radium in their watches, which is their chemical symbol of radium is Ra, or I saw it as Ra, the sun god,
Right.
which is known to be the creator of the sky, the earth, and the underground, or the underworld. So
Right.
that's a huge connection there.
Underground adventures or whatever.
And also radium's atomic number is 88. And in Back to the Future, Doc's time machine had to go to 88 miles per hour in order to travel through time.
88 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Yep.
They kind of touch a little bit in the Baron Trump Marvelous Underground Journey, some bit of a group that finds silver. And that could almost be seen as radium. It's a silvery white metallic.
Okay.
And when exposed to to oxygen, it turns black. So that goes back to the black goo.
Yeah.
Everything that we saw in Severance with black goo.
Yeah. Or also, there could be that the Trump family stumbled upon great riches.
Yeah.
With this teleporting technology.
Yeah.
That
you could see
portrayed
it
in that
too.
book as the rabbit holes that or whatever that the Baron found, like a rope descending into, whatever. I didn't read it. You did.
Yeah, it was some sort of just hole in the earth.
Okay.
That he used in him and his companion that you could represent as the Holy Spirit of a dog that helped him guide. His senses were better than Baron's were.
Yep.
And he sensed like bad people in bad situations, so he would guide him. But yeah.
Let me just point out one thing here. So what's very strange, first of all, again, is this IngersollLockwood.com. This is, if I don't know what this is exactly. I haven't done tons of it. It seems to be some kind of like think tank, some kind of research and funding group, just in general.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's insanely strange that right here they would say, where is it?
That they're not affiliated with Q.
Oh, it's down here. Yeah. We don't believe in the QAnon conspiracy, nor would we ever. Please tell this to all. So first of all, that's an extremely strange way to put it because as I pointed out to Valerie like a little bit ago, there's no such thing as QAnon, and it's not a conspiracy. Because the word conspiracy means multiple parties, working together for an end. Q is literally a singular entity, and it literally just is making anonymous posts.
But also, you're a watch company / whatever now this is. Why even bring up anything related to that?
Well, it's because the points we're connecting here.
I know, but wouldn't you just ignore it if it wasn't true at all?
Of course.
Come on.
Of course. One of the first rules of big business, I mean like big Fortune 50, Fortune 100 business, is you ignore all competitors, attacks.
Yeah.
You always just hold up your best face.
Yep.
Okay. So they're not adhering to that, almost like the first rule of big business.
And it's almost on purpose. Like they're trying to get you to see this one thing that Eric found. It's like a weird link.
So if you look real close, this is super freaking weird. Okay, this is again on their homepage. So it's just the weird watch and some weird references. Site status, operational. This is very like, what? Currently under attack in bold. Who wrote this? And then look at this. This is, okay, so not only are people not using the two spaces after a period correctly anymore. So if you do one space after a period, you are incorrect, according to proper English. So I noticed, oh my God, look at this. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 spaces here. Just strange to me. And then, let me see. 1, 2. So they have 2 spaces there. So all I'm pointing out is that there's just some insanity and informality here on a homepage of like a company that probably trillions of dollars have gone through.
Yes.
Not billions.
So it's on purpose.
They're just, so yeah, again, just a mega think tank funding group, whatever, that trillions of dollars have passed through. You're not going to have some insane coded message like this on your website's homepage.
But also look.
And then coming up is this. This is like the biggest what the fuck.
Yeah, the link is the craziest part.
And what? Oh, and then this company status. Let me just look at the word company status not acquired. Company status not acquired. What?
Yeah.
What? The year is 2022, 5782. So that's like the Jewish year and the Gregorian calendar. Okay. And then, as you might have been getting curious about, the S here, the snake.
Or the symbol that Trump just did in that video we just watched.
Or the Superman.
Yeah.
Lucifer.
Mm-hmm.
The S is a link to the State Department, federal government stuff, directly to the Abraham Accords Declaration, which I don't know honestly a lot about this. I think this is just like an informal thing that Trump was involved with.
Well, he involves himself with a lot of Jewish culture.
Yeah.
I'll say.
Yeah. So Val's all hung up on we're all going to be executed with the Noahide laws.
But he signed into office when he was in office, he signed the Education Day bill, which includes the Noahide laws.
Okay. Anyway, it's just too weird. Look at this. I'm just looking at this for the first time. This is like an upside down pyramid with the capstone upside down. See that? The black. It's like an upside down pyramid right there.
Yeah. It also goes with the mirroring that one guy was also pointing at. A lot of mirroring happening.
Oh, God, there's so much. Oh, my God, there's so much here. This is just insane for a company of this magnitude and age, hundreds of years old. This company is.
And clearly associated somewhat with Trump, again, because of Space Force.
Because of Space Force, which is undeniable and in your hand.
Yeah.
But then there's the book thing, which someone some fool might be able to say, oh, that's not talking about Trump or Barron. Okay, you haven't read the book.
Yeah.
You're a fool. It's clearly talking about Trump and Barron.
Yep.
In two different books.
Okay, so let's just maybe play that other video to kind of get us back on track with some other interesting
things. There's this is freaking me out. It's freaking me out. 2 L's. We're 3 L's. I swear to God, there's code here. We just haven't decoded. Drive-by malware sites. It's too weird.
There's 3 L's. Okay, that's weird.
I mean, it makes sense if you go to Ingersoll with 3 L's or 2 L's .com. Yeah, copycat. You're always taking them down for now. It's so weird. Who would even put that on their homepage?
Geronimo Q. Geronimo equals jump. What is jump? A jumper. A person teleports by essentially opening a rift in the fabric of reality. In
wormholes, yeah.
Reality, passages across.
Should we talk about
space and
Oh, God, there's
time,
so much.
dubbed wormholes, could theoretically exist.
What do you got?
Well, I was just waiting for them to talk about.
Oh, okay.
And going into one mouth of a wormhole
Yeah,
could
that.
spit you out of another
He'll bring it up.
instantaneous. Why does Q refer to many Hollywood movies throughout their posts? What does it mean? It means those at the top of the pyramid, Hollywood and the Cabal, use movies to condition society for future events. Q post 749. Coincidence the Matrix movie grew people as a crop, used for energy and controlled their mind? Sound familiar? Wonder where they derived that idea from. Now comes the conspiracy label. Deeper we go, the more unrealistic it all becomes. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Q. Hollywood has been creating time travel movies since the beginning to acclimate and prime the public for future technologies yet suppressed. Movies like Donnie Darko discussing wormholes and the philosophy of time travel.
Yeah.
The film Stargate that shows an Einstein-Rosen-Bridge portal device that can transport humans between two different locations. But one from 2008 titled Jumper caught my eye. Let me tell you about my day so far. Coffee in Paris. Look at that, Paris. Surfed the Maldives. Took a little nap on Kilimanjaro. Oh yeah, I got digits from this Polish chick in Rio. And then I jumped back for the final quarter of the NBA Finals. Courtside, of course. And all that before lunch. I could go on, but all I'm saying is I'm standing on top of the world. Top of the world? Take a look at the artwork from the poster.
Right here. Yeah. So this is getting into what we just said, the Tomorrowland.
Yeah, I think that's next.
Look familiar?
Okay.
Jumper. Paris. Eiffel Tower. Another poster from the movie Jumper. Look familiar? The clock.
Right.
How many coincidences before it becomes mathematically impossible?
She's dead center.
Now let's jump back to General
On purpose.
Flynn's Twitter account with the jumper on the banner. Wouldn't it be amazing if General Flynn could give us some sort of communication regarding jumping and time travel? September 8th.
Yeah. Should I skip forward a little bit?
Yeah.
Do you believe in coincidences? Over before it began. Explains that Gustave Eiffel, Jules Verne, Disney's Tomorrowland.
Yeah, there it is. Here. So this is what is featured in the Tomorrowland movie is they go to the Eiffel Tower when they need to, I think they need to travel to Tomorrowland is what's in the movie. But they reveal this plus ultra tiny miniature secret society of scientists and inventors.
Yeah.
Of which, Jules Verne, Tesla, Edison, and I don't know who, Gustave. I mean, that's the Eiffel guy. Maybe he made the Eiffel Tower. I don't know.
So this guy pretty much makes a connection between what you had just talked about with John Trump, Donald Trump's uncle, having that information, having gathered it with his organization he worked with, and plus ultra being a huge factor here because I don't know if you want to fast forward to where they show Trump's Mar-a-Lago home.
Right.
Because I think that's what.
Here it is.
Okay. So in Mar-a-Lago, which we looked up was built in 1927, so early 1900s, around the same time that Ingersoll Lockwood wrote these books about the Trump family. We just thought that was weird. But plus ultra is a connecting point of like Tesla and time travel and like why is that written on Mar-a-Lago's walls?
Right. And all the buzz about Mar-a-Lago, Trump, the world media, everyone's making a big thing of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's being put in everyone's face. Mar-a-Lago, Mar-a-Lago,
Yeah.
Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, especially just this week.
And all around Mar-a-Lago, I see all these pictures of these tiles with plus ultra. That's a U. That's a Latin. Well, it's a V, but
it means plus ultra. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget how to say it.
It's like plus ultra. So I don't know, but
he says it better in this video. But
yeah, there's no There's no U's in Latin, so it's plus ultra, which is a reference directly to this microscopic secret society that's all involved with
With
time travel.
yeah.
And there's Donald Trump, Biff, like our Biff, who received the tech from a relative
Mm-hmm.
who is using it to probably just not doing what Biff did, literally with like betting, but
Yeah.
making deals in business. If you just generally know the
And he's a rich
direction
man.
of, oh, I know
I mean,
exactly,
his family's very wealthy.
exactly, same as Biff.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you watch, I just watched Back to the Future 2 yesterday, and it's obviously all Trump.
Yeah.
He's up in his tower. He's got the golden puffy hair.
Uh-huh.
He's got the trophy wife.
Yep.
And just living a life of luxury at the top of his tower.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's too much. And then down below, out in the streets, is chaos. Tanks, motorcycle gangs,
Mm-hmm.
and the city areas have been like devastated, turned to hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like the neighborhood that Marty is in. What's it called? Like Hill Valley, something like that. It's a total dump.
Yeah.
So what's gone down since Trump like came into office? There's total destruction in like some of the bigger liberal cities. Like if you go to like at San Francisco, Portland, they're like Hill Valley
Yeah.
now. Total disgustingness.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's all the bikers for Trump. Okay.
Yeah.
All the biker gangs just outside of Trump Tower. And then there was a tank out there. Like, hello, that's DC now.
Yeah.
DC is turning into like a little military.
What did you connect
base.
with the riots outside on Fifth Avenue to?
Well, just in the book, the last president. I read it a little bit like a year and a half ago. I didn't even retouch up on it right now because there's so many puzzle pieces here. It's overwhelming. But the general gist of it is there's this new president coming in that's extremely controversial, and he's causing riots. And it says in the book that one of the first, basically like casualty of the rioters is, I forget what they say, but some like hotel on Fifth Avenue. Like, I mean, hello, that
Trump Tower.
Trump Tower in New York City is on Fifth Avenue.
Yeah.
And there was obviously riots outside of it, and people like painted, actually I think they painted like BLM type stuff like on the streets, and just everything that was in Back to the Future 2 in terms of like how society became.
Mm-hmm.
Coincidentally, it's when Trump was up in his tower, and he said he owns the police. So, yeah, I think it's all connected.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, Biff wasn't the president in Back to the Future 2. They didn't go that far. No. Yeah. There's just so
but he
many
was just like a really big deal, though.
Yeah. I mean, to own the police, you're above the president at that point.
Yeah.
Background. What do you see?
Got here.
Plus, ultra.
This guy does such a good job with this video.
It's interesting that the boss would mention 3 weeks ago and then looking forward to Friday. Sounds like time shift talk to me.
Dude, look where he's sitting. Okay, I can tell, but it looks like he's at some old throne instead of like a regular chair.
Yeah.
Because the stone work behind him, but no, he's actually at I think it's a chair right there.
Q Post 3585, November 11th, 2019. Project Looking Glass, going forward in order to look back. Q. Jumping 1 year later from the day at Mar-a-Lago.
So this is in 2017. And in that post, he says it's the Winter White House.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting that he does call that a part of the White House.
Well, it used to be official Winter White House,
Oh, okay.
and then Trump bought it from the government.
That's just too much.
It's too much. Yeah.
It's like he knew to buy that.
Yep. Or it's like it was always in the family.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I want to make that more officially mine now. Just give it, to sign it back over.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going on.
Because he's the last president.
Because he's the last president. And this gets into the topic of we're on a bunch of lasts. So if you go and Google search the prophecy of the popes, you'll find a list of all the popes that would ever be. And we're on the last pope. Coincidentally, with Trump, the last president, we're on the last pope. Okay. And then at that same time, we're on the last queen.
Yeah.
We're on the last remnant of any like old world style royalty that was still respected kind of in our parents' generation. So we're on all these last.
Well, let's also point to this real quick because we both thought this was really interesting that in 2015, Christmas, so like a month or so or two before Trump is going to be officially president, the Pope and the Queen come out and say, two major figureheads announced in 2015 that'll be the last Christmas for humanity on Earth.
Zoom out, pinch out, yeah.
So that right there, it's almost like they knew.
Right. Yeah, this was a big thing, of course, at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It got quickly suppressed by all the fake media.
Yeah.
That the Trump freak that the Queen said something about it being your last Christmas or whatever.
Yeah. And then some people would probably think, oh, end times, it's the end of the world, yada yada yada. But really, I think it was just Trump taking down the swamp, getting rid of the evil serpent.
Yeah, in a way, what he's doing is clearly good.
Yeah.
I don't think he's awake on all fronts.
No.
I mean, he eats at McDonald's, so he's clearly not awake on that front. He's eating people.
Yeah.
In the burgers there, which no one knows about that. Yeah. All right, what do we got next? Let's just let this play.
Q Post 543, January 18th, 2018. The Great Awakening. Q. Let's not forget New Year's Eve at Mar-a-Lago. Yep, those tiles look familiar, huh? What is plus ultra? Plus ultra is a Latin phrase meaning further beyond. It was taken from the personal model of Charles V from the 1500s. Here we can see plus ultra inscribed on the ceiling of Charles V.
Damn, that's cool.
Palace in southern Spain, the Alhambra. Why the plus ultra tiles in the background at Mar-a-Lago? Was John G. Trump, the uncle of Donald Trump, part of this club? The White Hats chose John Trump to go in.
See, I don't think he was part of the club officially. I think he had his place in the government as just some general science-y guy in charge of this office. And just like Biff, who was not officially part of the whole Marty and Doc crew, he happened upon the technology, John Trump did, and used it for his family's gains.
Yes.
That's the main gist of this video. We're saying that did happen. And the part of the effect of that is stuff like the Mandela effect. And the timelines just went crazy. Coincidentally peaking around, now this gets into another part of our discussion here, is the whole 2015 to 2017. It seems like that's when a lot of things peaked.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do we all take down for notes on that? Oh, right. The Great American Eclipse, August 21st, 2017.
That was interesting.
Flat Earth peaked November
Show that
2017.
graph. Do you have the graph?
I don't know. I don't
Oh, that
know.
was so interesting.
But yeah, just go and look up the Google Trends page and just type in flat Earth. And you'll see that it started having any real uptick at the beginning of 2015.
Yeah.
And it peaked.
It exploded.
Exploded, and it peaked at November 2017. So coincidentally, a whole bunch of other things peaked at the same time. So it's like, as the Bible says, how at the end of the age, the Holy Spirit will be poured out upon all flesh. So I think that's what was happening starting around 2015. And how many people woke up around that time frame?
Mm-hmm.
Millions. It's like what Morpheus said in I don't know which movie, but he's like, consider the last 6 months. You know, they've freed so many more minds than in the past 6 years. So in other words, at the end of the age, there's an acceleration of people waking up.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that was like 2015, 2017 timeframe. Coincidentally, with a bunch of these lasts, and coincidentally with Trump in his inauguration speech doing something that no one's ever done, breaking form, and actually the first thing he says, I'm just going to play like 30 seconds of this.
You should play the whole thing. It's so good.
Well, I'll play I don't know.
This transition. They have been magnificent. Thank you. Today's ceremony, however.
Notice that the Marines are coming up behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's not, that didn't happen for a lot of other, I don't know if anyone ever had that happen for an inauguration, for just for like 30-second window.
Yeah.
All these Marines come up behind him. And in this 30-second, 1-minute window, he says the most profound thing that no one understood.
And that no other president has ever said before.
Because this ends the U.S. So right here in 1 second, in one moment, Trump ended what you call U.S., the corporation under Vatican.
Mm-hmm.
Has very special meaning. Because today, we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another, or from one party to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people.
So he said, the people, in a way that it's like a capital T, capital P. He emphasized the two words so much so that it wasn't like a passing reference to like, oh, regular people.
Yeah.
No, it was a formal thing he just made a reference to.
To the natural man.
To the man. Yeah. Giving it back
Mm-hmm.
to the people, a reference to the government that existed before the satanic counterfeit came in.
Well, he kind of explains it in detail that DC was pretty much taking all their taking everything, is how corrupt it was, and he's not going to allow that to happen anymore.
It will play that follow-up here.
For too long, a small group in our nation's capital has reaped the rewards of government while the people have borne the cost.
The people.
Mm-hmm.
Washington.
Proper noun again in emphasis. And now, since he made that declaration, ending the satanic counterfeit government of, quote, United States of America, which is a satanic corporation, registered with the Hague. Now that he made that declaration,
the military walk.
The military can leave, because they were there as witnesses to that being done. To witness the removal of Satan from the land of America. It happened right then and there.
Yep.
in what was this? This would have been like January 2017.
Washington flourished, but the people did not share in its wealth. Politicians prospered, but the jobs left and the factories closed. The establishment protected itself, but not the citizens of our country. Their victories have not been your victories. Their triumphs have not been your triumphs. And while they celebrated in our nation's capital, there was little to celebrate for struggling families all across our.
And then he's giving all these code words too, with, well, maybe not code words, but he's maintaining a separation between the people that were running this corporation, and they were in the nation's capital. Like he's alluding to the real fact that they were just temporarily, illegally, unlawfully at their posts. He's keeping a strong separation that they were just there. Yeah. Crazy.
Land.
So I mean,
Yeah, that's good.
that's that minute there with the Marines coming up behind him. It's just too much. It's too much. So there he is. He in the first minute of his inauguration speech, the first minute of him as a president, he ended the United States. That's why this book is called The Last President.
Yeah.
So he was the last president right there. Day one. Insane, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome. And that's why now we have a non-president potato. While I believe, this is a belief, I don't have absolute evidence, I believe that Trump is still generally helping out.
In charge.
Quote, in charge of the people.
Yeah.
Which is a separate entity to United States of America International Corporation, Profit Corporation.
Correct. Yeah. And he made that
very distinct.
Yes.
Yeah. So I realize this is a lot of weird things to say because most people don't know the separation between United States of America Corporation under Vatican under versus the Republic of the states. States being nation states or their own sovereign entities which have jurisdiction around on the land. They actually have their own declared boundaries.
Yep.
Like, hey, people on the other side of that line, that's you, this is us.
Yeah.
Declared physical boundaries. United States of America Corporation never had that. They are just legal fictions. They're just people. They're just a monopoly board.
Yep.
That people are playing a game on. You know, you can look away from the game board and you still remember the game. In other words, the game is being played in people's minds. I mean, you temporarily put down the game board, play the game, and then you put it away. Like, you didn't create, you're not doing stuff on land. You're doing stuff on a temporary game board. That was the United States of America is what I'm saying. A temporary thing a temporary game that people were playing. And of course, who wins in the end? The banker. The banker just gets all the money back at the end.
Yeah.
So it was a rigged game, just as Trump was alluding to. Geez, we've got so many notes here. Getting back on the 2015, 2017, everything of the old age peaking to shift into the new age. Crypto exploded. 2015.
Yep.
That's when it went from like Bitcoin. You know, we'll just use as the shining example here. That's when Bitcoin went from like $800,000 to like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And then within, I think the end of what I call this transitionary phase, it was at like $60,000. Okay. So again, 2015, 2017. Or I think maybe the 60,000 thing came in 2018. But anyway, it was on an insane trajectory. starting 2015. The YouTube adpocalypse and shadow banning that came along with it, that all came in 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
I think just as a countermeasure to combat the Holy Spirit being poured out upon all flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Because when people talk, now that we've got this truth being poured out, we're going to be talking about the truth that's being poured out.
Mm-hmm.
And they
couldn't handle it.
Couldn't handle it. Yeah. The Brexit thing started in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Again, just more of the same. Old system crumbling.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the concept. My principle of the parents are on vacation, or the parents are out of town, the boss is on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I think that started around 2015. And so the people in Britain felt it. Like, oh, wait, we as people can just do stuff now?
Yeah.
Okay, Brexit, bop.
Yeah.
That's what happened. I'm talking about like the spirit that came out from God.
Mm-hmm.
It
awoke people.
It awoke people, yeah. So, and that's why the world is just insane right now, if you're worldly.
Yeah.
Because your world is crumbling.
Correct.
The new world is or I should say the pre-evil world is simply being revealed again, where men are just men. Everything is not a contract from one state-owned entity to another, of which you are simply operating as authorized agent,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore always a third party of.
Mm-hmm.
In sometime in the future soon, we're just going to be dealing with handshakes, word, promises. Oh yeah, hey Farmer Joe, you said you'd bring 30% of your crop over to my my small county-sized food chain.
Yeah.
Every September, just on your word.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's where we're going. Just doing stuff on handshakes and words.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like promises,
Yeah.
Not getting a Monopoly game board out, picking which silver piece you are, and then doing everything through the banker's rules, and therefore always in the end benefiting the banker.
Exactly.
So the Monopoly board was thrown out when Trump did that.
Mm-hmm.
In that one sentence, he ended it. Like officially.
Yeah.
That's why he's the last president. Okay. What else we got here? Once Trump took office, we stopped hearing so much news about the royal family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With that truth spirit that went out, people start to be like, wait a minute. There's higher class people? No, there's not.
Yeah, and then you have Prince Harry and Meghan
Peace out.
relinquish their duties
Yeah.
to the royal family. So that's never happened before. You wouldn't ever see that unless
Dude, if I'm royalty, I'm royalty. Like,
Yeah.
they're staying for life, right?
It makes you think that it's crumbled.
Yeah.
They don't have duties to do.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. They or one or both of them actually like were, or I suspect Harry, maybe a genetic anomaly, actually got too much of the human seed of the woman in him.
Hey.
And he's like, oh, wait a second. Like, I can't transform into one of these reptiles like all my brothers and parents. Like, screw this. I'm out of here, right? I can't partake in this. I'm not going underground and eating babies with these.
Yeah.
I can't transform and have all that fun.
Yeah.
I'm being funny, but I mean, I think it's something like that.
Yeah.
That happened.
He does. He's definitely the best looking one out of the bunch. So.
Okay, and then we took this note here that the Cubs won the World Series for the first time in over 100 years.
Yeah.
Back to the Future said that would happen in 2015, but it actually did. It happened in 2016.
Yeah.
And he said, we'll say close enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that is freaky. Yeah. I mean, they
Back to the Future actually
predicted
said,
stuff.
yeah.
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 Yeah, not that it was like portraying some great truth, like maybe with symbols, but no, that is like a hard thing that they almost got right on.
Yeah.
Okay, and apparently, yeah, not having not won in 100 years, that's huge, right? Significant. Trump first announced his presidential run June 15, 2015. I mean, obviously that's obvious, you know. Oh, and then here we go. We get into like the Twin Peaks overlaps, and it's not like exact direct overlaps, but just some interesting things to mention about the underlying premise of Twin Peaks is that there's this cyclically opening and closing portal to hell
Mm-hmm.
that opens. I think in the show, I'm pretty sure it opens up like one night every 20 years.
Okay.
And that it's just too much. I mean, Twin Peaks equals Twin Pines, Back to the Future,
Mm-hmm.
equals Twin Towers, equals, God, just so much.
Yeah,
Much.
just the predictions in Back to the Future about 9/11.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and then how Twin Peaks, yeah, there's just this it's almost like there was a 20-year cycle there. And then but then in Back to the Future, it's like warning about a 30-year cycle in which
well, because they were in 85. So they're all pushing towards this 2015 change in the world.
yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I know
all around 20.
I know we're just having little nuggets here, but it's just too much.
Yeah.
And yeah, right. In the movie, there's this warning about you'll find out in so many years. Laura Palmer told Cooper she'll see him again in 25 years. And then
the third season came out in 2017.
25 years on the day.
Yes.
And then the 30-year thing was marked by the release of the Walk movie by the same director 30 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So aligning up with the previously mentioned
Twin Towers stuff.
Yeah.
Because in the Walk, the guy walks
on the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
God, there's just too much here. It's crazy. And then the Revelation 12 sign in the sky, September 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's describing Virgo, the Virgin, as the constellation. It actually had another star. I forgot which star it was, but one of the other wandering stars came in the distance, went into her womb area, circled for 9 months, and then came out of her in the direction like a baby would exit. Okay.
Yeah. It all.
And that I think
2017.
I think that was like the end of it. Like the baby was born 2017.
And there was a dragon waiting for the birth of the man child, but actually, so if you read further into Revelation 12, if you continue on in the Bible, it says that Michael battles the dragon and his angels. So
after the sign
happens, then the man child is taken up into heaven, and then Michael battles with the dragon and his angels. Or is it the dragon that goes up in battles? Either way, we thought it was funny coincidence that Hurricane Michael happened in 2018,
like a year after the sign.
Almost a year after that sign in the skies.
Yep. And in the Bible, I think angels or angel whatever, they're referred to sometimes as like whirlwinds.
Yeah.
Okay. And Michael, that hit literally my house and knocked I had a giant tree that cut my neighbor's house in half. The lesbians that were next door.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah, right in the Gulf, right there.
Yep. Knocked yep. Totally destroyed Panama City. It was the biggest hurricane to land on our shores in forever. I think ever. I think ever. Because it was like
It had been a long time.
it was ridiculously strong. I mean, I was literally there. I did not leave.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a Hurricane 5.
It was the strongest winds that are possible on Earth. I swear, it knocked a train off of its tracks.
Mm-hmm.
A cargo train, not like a people Amtrak train with like, seats and luggage racks. No, it knocked
It was a bad
like
one, yeah.
trillions of tons of steel cargo train off of its tracks.
Mhm.
Wind. Okay.
It was that battle in heaven going
Finger of God came down. Michael.
Yeah.
The Hurricane Michael.
on. Yeah.
And yeah, destroyed. I mean, multiple states. The trees were
Yeah.
leveled.
Mm-hmm.
When I left there, I drove north, and for like an hour and a half, leveled trees.
Oh yeah. For years afterwards too.
Yeah.
It's just
So just an interesting coincidence that Michael, right, as we just said. And then we've got stuff on Back to the Future. Marty goes to the future first, and yeah, right. In back at the end of Back to the Future, the first one, right? Marty goes to the future, or goes back to the past, where the Twin Towers are, but then, oh my God, like he's dressed the same as the actor in The Walk. It's just too much. Well, I'll put this video here.
I thought you brought that.
Should I
up,
play
right?
it?
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God, it's
Like a snippet.
yeah. This isn't some pre-selected, but this whole video, I'll put the link in the description. This video is, many have said this is the best video on YouTube. Period. I agree.
What's with the wire? What's with the wire? What's with the wire? What's with the wire? What's with the wire?
Find out in 30 years! Find out in 30 years! Doc! 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 Okay, relax, Doc. It's me. It's me. It's Marty.
No, it can't be. Just sent you back to the future.
Oh, I know you did send me back to the future, but I'm back. I'm back from the future.
I'm getting goosebumps. It's too much.
Just the outfits alone right
Yeah.
there. Just insane.
That's obvious that who's this guy in the right? Like Gordon something
I
over there.
forget.
It's obvious that the people making him up are trying to make him look like
Marty.
same actor, but he usually doesn't look very much like this. He's clearly with the hair and everything. He's made up like Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Same director. We're not like cherry picking a movie. Oh, look at these. No. This is literally, the movie came out 30 years to the day
Of him
later.
saying, you'll find out in 30 years.
Yeah. So just the fact that the movie's all about the Twin Towers. A tower gets struck
Well,
in
and
the first movie with lightning.
yeah.
With the technology from the sky, lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Right? Plane didn't knock that shit down. Some kind of technology from the sky took down the towers.
Yeah, just like what we see in Twin Peaks. A lot of the electricity.
Wow. Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
All of the David Lynch electricity stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the lightning, and then the lightning having to power the time machine.
Yeah.
And then the Eiffel Tower has got to be some kind of like a lightning rod at the top. Are they harnessing lightning bolt electricity to time travel?
Yeah, they could.
Oh my God. Just totally spitballing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No, but then we could also relate that. Okay, so the World Trade Center obviously is a huge money of the government, and it was taken down. It was taken out, and you could see a relation from Biff being Trump and how Trump came on the scene and basically took all the power away from the evil United States corporation.
Yeah.
And that could be a parallel to showing that that's been destroyed.
And I just remember now the Laura Palmer telling Cooper she'll see him again in 25 years.
Yeah.
I think what okay, so 2001, what's that? What's plus 25? Oh no, that's not. That's only, I'm trying to like find correlations here. Let me actually play that part of Laura Palmer
yeah.
being in hell. And I am saying that a lot of the symbolism in this show is just all telling the same story with like different puzzle pieces and from a different perspective.
Some of your friends are real. Hello, I stand buffer. I'll see you again in 25 years. Meanwhile.
Yeah, and then basically she introduces his doppelganger, which actually goes back out the portal to Earth to act as him. So it's just too much coincidence of it being a prediction of you'll find out again, and you see me again in 25 years.
And then that same director put out a third season exactly 25 years later.
Yeah, exactly. So the correlation is just amazing.
Yeah.
And then these are the two shows that are Twin Peaks, Twin Pines.
Yeah.
Twin Pines Mall at the, Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Oh!
And then the mall being related to like money.
The commerce. Exactly.
Commerce, yeah.
Oh my God, right. Exactly. Oh, and it was, of course, in the Back to the Future, the Twin Pines Mall, when Marty went and messed with the timeline, it became the Single Pine Mall. What do they call it?
Was it the Lone Pine?
Yeah, the Lone Pine Mall.
And there was only one tree?
There's one tree.
Yeah.
So here we go. Someone messed with time, and the two towers had to be then converted into one. So that's what happened. The Twin Towers in New York City and in this reality, what got turned into the what do they call it? Like the Freedom Tower, I think. Yeah, there's one tower now there.
Yeah.
I think maybe if we watch more Twin Peaks, we might find some symbolism of that. Of like, hey, look at there's the one-eyed Jack, right? The one eye. I wonder if there's a point that Jack previously had two eyes and it got turned into one.
Huh.
I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah, we've never looked at those two things.
Yeah, we haven't gone and done
connected the 9/11 event with Twin Peaks, but we should because it's called Twin Peaks.
And they had the same kind of prediction with this will happen, and then the same directors. Oh my God, it's just too much.
Yeah.
Okay, what else I got here in my notes?
I think we pretty much covered.
Yeah. Okay, we covered the Ingersoll stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting. Oh, you know what? I'll take this opportunity to talk about my Mandela effect flip-flops that happened overnight, or like maybe like 2 days later or whatever. But it'd be too cumbersome to bring up. I'll just explain it. So of course, when Mandela effect peaked, 2015 to 2017, it was 2017 in the summer, I discovered that what we were now, the reality that we were now in, it was in Apollo 11. Is that the movie or is it Apollo 13? I think it's Apollo 11. The Tom Hanks movie. The famous quote of, Houston, we have a problem. It was now, Houston, we've had a problem. So actually, I should bring that up on YouTube. I'll be able to find it real quick here.
It was Apollo 13.
Oh, really? That was the movie. Yeah, you're right. Apollo 13. Houston, we have a problem.
Taxes and the Fred.
And Here it is. This in Earth reality, early summer 2017 was now Houston, we've had a problem.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem.
Okay, he clearly says have there. Like no one could ever dispute that. I'm sure if you go and find the script, it'll say that. But as I was tumbling down the rabbit hole of Mandela effect, I mean, I was literally going to YouTube every day, typing in Mandela effect and sorting by most recent. And I was like, oh, who's going to drop the new Mandela effect video of the day that's just going to explode my mind, right? I was all on this. And this was one of them that came up, was that there was all these videos out there. Now, of course, they're all gone in this timeline, in this Berenstain reality that we're in right now in 2022. Thanks to Ingersoll for reminding us that it's 2022 on their website. This is the year 2022, like on the homepage. What the hell? Anyway, yeah, this scene right here, Tom Hanks clearly said, Houston, we've had a problem. Okay, I'm like crazy about pronunciation and spelling and stuff. Sometimes I don't maybe verbalize it like I am, but I actually am in my head. So when I stumbled across this, I played it back to back. I'm like, okay, he definitely says that. And there's no way it was that way. No way. It was this way. Since this movie came out.
We have a problem.
It was we have. It was we have. Okay. And there was all these Reddit posts and YouTube comments. This right here, see this video was uploaded August 3rd, 2017. Before that time is when I stumbled across this. It was like maybe a little bit before August 2017, maybe just a couple days before this. Obviously, this movie is a little older, 1995. So what they did is they re-uploaded all of the clips from this movie to scrap the Mandela effect comments. Because when I was here and when I discovered that this was now Houston, we've had a problem, the whole comment thread, nothing but Mandela effect comments.
Yeah.
Thousands of them. Okay. Now this is the pre-flip-flop moment. So I land here. I'm like, of course, there's another major one. Equal to the magnitude of Berenstain. I can't even say it the wrong way now. And so I just like, oh great, I mean, that's awesome. We've got another really hard hitting example.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna be able to bring everyone to. It'd be like, yo, remember Houston, we have a problem. It's all on people.
So you're saying they changed it back?
That's what I'm saying. Is what you just heard now is Houston, we have a problem. Is Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah.
And then they re-uploaded the video with the new, or I should say, what the Mandela effect, it doesn't care about any of that stuff, but the re-upload scrapped all the comments.
Yeah.
Thousands of comments. And that's gone. And I tried looking it up on the Wayback Machine or whatever, the Internet Archive, and the YouTube comments are not there.
Wow.
Not just for this video, but just in general, like YouTube comments are not archived. Obviously they're archived. Like NSA's got, not that you can find, right? Mm-hmm. Everything you type, I think actually on everything you type into your keyboard is being archived. I'm a crazy conspiracy theorist like that. If you were like typing a comment like, hey, you're wrong, blah, blah, blah,
and then
blah, blah.
Don't send it.
And then if you don't send it, I actually, I'm speaking as a software engineer myself. I'm saying that it is theoretically possible and very simple to program that string of keystrokes there.
Yeah.
is not only going to the input field, but is being transmitted out to some logging service of like whoa, actually, hey YouTube coders, NSA is requesting that we not only mirror out all the comments to their servers, or at least give them access to our servers to let them do that. That's what's actually happening. But we actually want to code into our website proper, where everything someone just starts to type is going for live analysis and archival.
Yeah.
I'm saying that is just, it's possible.
I could see that.
Yeah. Actually, that would be something I'd be able to analyze and confirm in the web traffic. But yeah, too much time. I'm just saying it's possible. Some sites might be doing it actually. But yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I mean, we could connect.
Oh my God,
could keep connecting the dots here, but but we'll stop there for now.
Yeah.
Do your own research. It's really interesting.
I will put a bunch of relevant things in the description, no matter where you're watching this. I'll have that. Where is it? Most importantly, this video. What I am calling the greatest video on YouTube that will ever be is this. And from start to finish, this will explode your mind. I mean, just one final thing to point out here. It equates the monolith in 2001 with the building that was next to the Twin Towers that was intentionally architected to look like the monolith in 2001. Coincidentally stood next to the Twin Towers. And so just like in the monolith, in the monkey scene and the space, the monolith on the moon scene.
Yeah.
So what was represented there in 2001 was a great awakening of man at the time, so that they would be able to shift into the next age. Okay, that's what 2001 is all about. Is great awakening, a pouring out of the spirit, knowledge coming to man through the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
So that's why when the apes all touched the black monolith, then in the next scene they show that they've gone through this transition. They are now meat eaters, and the final scene with the apes is it shows the face of one of them, and they have human eyes looking around with pondering thought, pondering humanoid eyes.
Yeah.
So clearly showing that there was a upgrade after the monolith came, and they all stared at it in wonder and touched it. Okay. Now that's fiction. Okay. Supposedly. And then the same thing happened on the moon in that movie. And then after they all found the monolith on the moon, and they symbolically, all of man was touching it, as the astronauts there were there. But in the real, supposedly this real world, all of man basically was staring at their TVs on 9/11 in the morning, and reaching out and touching
a message that discredits the medium which carries it.
Yeah.
She was just doing that too.
So there it is. There's the reveal. So the building standing next to Twin Towers, right there, is the monolith representing the Great Awakening, as some letter in the alphabet might say. Officially claimed to be a representation of the monolith, not like making it up.
Yeah.
Boom. Oh, and coincidentally, what are you all carrying in your pocket today?
Yeah.
Shiny black monoliths.
Yeah.
Okay, not a coincidence. Yeah. It's just too much.
Yep.
Okay. We'll end the video there. Rant over, puzzle piece, rant over, go and do your own research. And like I said, Yeah, we'll make sure that all this stuff is in the description.
All right.
All right.
Thanks
Catch
for
you next
watching.
time. Bye.